We want him to answer, and we wanted to get your reaction.
Yeah.
What do you think we can expect?
Ainsley, here's the biggest question of all for Comey. Why the heck was Mike Flynn interviewed in the first place? You know, I want to show you something here. This is on my phone. This is a screenshot of a Washington Post article the day before Mike Flynn was interviewed at the White House. Let me read the title of the article for you. FBI reviewed Flynn's calls with Russian ambassador, but found nothing illicit. There it is, right there. So the FBI, the day before they interview Flynn, for what? A Logan Act violation? That's not even serious. It's never been successfully charged in the history of the United States. It's not even unconstitutional. Leaked to the Post the day before there was nothing illicit. Why were you interviewing Mike Flynn at all?
What is the Logan Act? The Logan Act's working with the enemy. Did Jane Fonda get that? We saw video of her with the enemy. So, I mean, you got to be kidding. You're going after for this reason. The other thing to keep in mind is we're getting more details about why the FBI felt as though that Lieutenant Colonel Michael Flynn might not have been lying. It's because he walked in, he shook their hands, he felt like one of the guys, he offered them a tour of the White House. He sat down there. They thought they were just talking among two buddies. And they used that to his advantage. They said he had learned to believe the lies he was telling. Really, what a huge leap that is. He was convincing in the lies because he believed the lies he was telling. How does the lieutenant general with 33 years of military experience feel that comfortable lying?
Yeah, there's some other real gems in there, too, in the paperwork that was filed. One of them is that Flynn was, obviously, given his history in the Defense Intelligence Agency, Flynn had told Andy McCabe that he was aware that they had transcripts of the call. So, Brian, is it possible? I'm just, yes, he was aware of it. So that he said to him at one point, you know what was said. So here's where I'm going with this. Don't you think that it's at least possible that Flynn may have taken this plea because he was being bullied financially, because he was afraid his family would be prosecuted, and he may have had he may have legitimately misremembered his conversation? He knew the FBI had transcripts. This is not a stupid guy. This is an American patriot. This is a hero here. A guy who understands intel.
And you know what, Dan, go back to your screenshot that you were just talking about. Yeah. Somebody at the Department of Justice in the Trump administration leaked to the Washington Post that information to make the Trump administration look bad. That is a felony. Where's that leak investigation?
Yeah, David Ignatius of the Washington Post was on the receiving end of Mike Flynn's name as part of an unmasking operation. Steve, this is a felony. It's not a misdemeanor. It's not mattress tag ripping off. This is a felony. Where is that investigation? The answer, nobody knows. The press was intimately involved in this. And again, I still can't figure out why Mike Flynn was interviewed in the first place. This is all getting lost. This is the one investigation that the sole purpose of the investigation is to produce crimes, not to investigate.
You know, the whole thing is, Dan, if you look at the president's inaugural committee, his campaign, his administration, now his business practices, everyone around him, I have never seen an offensive attack, a legal offensive attack like this in my life on even John Gotti. Why is this allowed? As if George Bush 43 was attacked not constantly because the election that he won by 500 votes in Florida. Can you imagine if he was not allowed to govern the country because Democrats didn't like the outcome? They stepped back, made a few comments, but moved over and let him be president. They refused to let this man be president.
Yeah, this is the scam of the century, this investigation. It reminds me of, you remember the bridge to nowhere, the taxpayer-funded bridge to nowhere? This is the investigation to nowhere. It's a taxpayer-funded disaster.
Going somewhere.
They will find nothing in it. It's a mess.
It's going somewhere. It's going right for his jugular. That's what they're going for.
Yeah, well, all they're going to get is, at best, they came up with a campaign finance violation.